We're live. Right, let's get the video rolling. Let me work out where the middle of the screen is. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of me playing my Minecraft Creative World Creative Series. And this, excitingly, if I've done my maths right, and I should have worked out before I even started recording, I'm an idiot. This should be episode 10. So, because it's episode 10, what I've decided to do is make 10 houses. Episode 10 houses. Now, I am, and I do, make every single house slightly different. Now, they're my typical, you've seen what my typical houses look like on Minecraft. So they still sort of follow my typical house design, if you like. But they are all slightly different. So, from other videos, I've been wanting to squeeze some little houses in there next to the train station. So that is end up where I put in them. Now, the first thing I do is sort of clear a bit of a pathway, because that's where I put the pathway in. So I'm going to fast forward to something a bit more exciting for me to talk over, so you don't have to watch all these boring bits. So as you can see here, I'm just finishing off those other houses that are on like the courtyard area. Now I think I'm going to change them moving forward, because I'm not like 100% happy with how they are. So, but yeah, I just kind of bring it down so they're not like floating in the air, because obviously that look really weird, which is super annoying. So yeah, I'll fast forward through that bit too. Finish that off, cool. So I clear a few trees, and then eventually I do get to work. I put the path in between the station and the courtyard. Excuse me, my nose is itchy. I feel like I'm going to need to itch it again, we'll see. So I put that path in, and then eventually I do get to work. It does take me a while on making the first house, so let me go back 10 seconds, and another 10 seconds. So alright, back to where I was a minute ago, for goodness sake. Didn't think that through very well, did I? At least you've not watched me just build a path, which is super boring. Oh, I must have already had that wall there. I must have done that at the same time as filling in the under bit of the courtyard houses, which, by the way, I was thinking, like, do I make like a basement room for those houses? Since it's there, should I make use of the space? I mean, I suppose I should. But like I said, I think I might change a couple of those houses anyway, because I'm not really happy with them. Now, just firstly, that wall that I did build sort of next to those courtyard houses was just one block away, because I thought, okay, I'll leave space for a gate to get round to the back garden. And I've still not sorted out the gardens on these houses. That's something I will need to do at some point. But that's why I left one block. And then this first house that I start building, which I will get onto, ends up being like one of my typical houses. It's quite small, so let me show you how it goes. Boring. So yeah, you can see it coming in shape now. Very typical. It is actually slightly smaller than the one that I did in episode 1. And by the way, thinking along the lines of, obviously I've done episode 10, I'm going to build 10 houses, 10 unique different houses, so stay tuned and see how they're all different. I thought, to be fair, building 10 houses was quite a lot. And I want to say in the next episode, I'm going to like do the interiors of them, is what I do in the next episode. So if you all want to see how I end up styling the space, stay tuned for the next one. But I can't remember what I was going to say. Useless. Yeah, so, that I found building 10 houses very intense, particularly for a single episode. I mean, I thought if I work really hard, I can do it. And I do sort of, I mean, you'll see by the end of the video, the houses are not complete. I think I finished them off camera. But I sort of have an outline and a picture of what I want to do. Now, I also want to say the houses are to go spreading out like way further than I had planned. I imagined I'd have just like a little sort of corner section of maybe like, I've just paused it, corner section of like terrace houses. But it ends up, they spread out a little bit more, because like some of the trees, I don't know if it's just me, but some of the trees I think really make the landscape, and I don't want to get rid of them. Like, I only like to get trees if I absolutely have to. Because I think they really give character to an area, and in real life, like, it's nice when there are trees about, like fresh air and shade from the leaves, just random little bits like that. I think it really does make like a housing estate. If there's no trees or anything, it's sometimes not as nice. I mean, my housing estate doesn't have any trees on. Well, there's the odd one actually. This morning when I was in bed, there was like a shadow moving, because I had my blind open during the night. So a shadow moved on the wall, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And it was a tree. And I knew it was a tree, but when I first saw it, it startled me a bit. So I'm actually starting on the second house now. In keeping with trying to make every house just a little bit different, I've not been paying attention, but I think I basically, I mean, you can see it's a little bit wider, and I think the doorway is like a 3x3 space, and then I'm going to have like glass around it and the door in the middle. And in terms of the window, I think on that first house it had a bay window, didn't it? Yeah, it did have a little outsticking window, whereas this one is just flat. So that's how it's different. I'm going to skip to the next house then as well. This might end up being quite a short episode. I think skipping is the right thing to do. So you can see there how they're slightly different, and I do build another one on the side of it. There you can see what I was talking about, putting the glass in the 3x3 door. Okay, let's start taking a look at the next house then. So my next house, again, I've gone for the typical door. I've got a little window that's going to go next to the front door. I was originally thinking, like, could it be like a downstairs toilet, or is it just like going to be part of the hallway? You'll end up seeing in the next episode if you're interested. And then for the living room window, it looks like I've gone for a 2x2 window, so just something a little bit different. You can see this house again is far wider than the previous two. From what I remember of this house, and I hate to be a spoiler alert, but maybe it might make you want to watch the next episode, that house on the end, I do end up putting a room in the attic. I think it's the first. Is it the first house I've actually done that in? I think. And yeah, it ends up being really nice. I really like how it turns out. So feel free to look at the next episode. Please watch this one as well, though. Well, it's completely your choice if you just want to skip to the next one. But you won't see how the houses have been built. So that's your choice. And then I suppose it will tell me based on views and stuff whether people do just want to see the final product or if they want to see the houses be built. But anyway, yeah, this house does end up with a room in the attic. I'm going to fast forward again because I feel like this is not very exciting. So I just do my normal thing, build it up, cool. And then I start work on thinking, okay, where am I going to put this fourth house? Now, as I said, I was thinking sort of like an L-shaped terraced houses. So I do end up putting one kind of adjacent, like next to the train tracks. And again, it's a fairly standard house. It looks like it's going to be a decent size, but I remember like when I come to the next episode and I'm decorating it, it does feel very sort of like cramped in. So yeah, not not as good as I want it to be. But to be fair, with a lot of these houses that I do end up building, I keep thinking, well, I can always extend them if I want to. And I think some of the houses I'm definitely going to put extensions on, and I know I'd definitely do at least one extension in episode 11, so feel free to look at episode 11, because one of the houses I build is house number, is it 7 or 8? 7? Oh, we'll see. So obviously I've got house 1, 2 and 3. I'm starting on house number 4, but I think it's about like house 7. It is really tiny, and I start building it and realise that there is not enough space upstairs for both a bedroom and a bathroom. So even just for one person, because it's literally a one-person house, you can't even get 2 bedrooms in it. It's tiny, absolutely tiny. Even smaller than that house number 1 that I just dug, which is the smallest one so far, isn't it? So I do end up putting a little extension on it, which in the end turns out really nice. So again, feel free to stay tuned for episode 11 or go to episode 11 and see what I'm actually talking about. Right, I'm going to fast forward so you can see what I do with house number 4. So I've gone for, and this time I've got the stone bricks as the base layer. I do try to just switch it up and make it different. As I say, I've tried to make every single house in this episode just a little bit different. So I've said before how I hate how you can have like terraced houses or just a street where all of the houses look exactly the same. Like there's just no character to them at all. Like I think that's so boring. And that, yeah, I suppose people do it for certain reasons, but yeah, it's not really my taste. So on this one, as you can see, I've gone for the doorway and the little window next to it again. It does end up just being part of the hallway, and then there's a tiny little sort of living room. Nice. Well, I won't say nice and big. It's not nice and big. It's 3x2, isn't it? That window, living room window. Okay, I'm going to fast forward again. I've skipped it now, but I put the stairs in to work out how far back to go. But if you look at that space, I think I could maybe, and I don't know if I finish it off actually in episode 11. You'll have to have a look. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, to try and squeeze like a living room and a kitchen in that space is so difficult because I don't know, it's just really cramped. But yeah, you'll see my struggles in the next episode. I'm going to fast forward again. Oh, just there you can see I've left a little bit on the sticky out bit, so it does have like a little roof to try and give it a bit of character and make it a bit different. So let me fast forward and show you what I do with it. Okay, so you can see I've put the little roof on the porch now. It definitely does make it different. I think it's a really cute little house with like a bit of character to it, and it's obviously different to the other ones. So, I mean, it'd be really cool to know like which house is people's favourite, and I can always make more similar ones, I guess. I've had some ideas for like upcoming episodes as to things I could do, and I've thought about doing, because all of my houses are sort of fairly traditional, I think. Please feel free to let me know what you think, whether you think they're traditional or not. But I've thought about making like a mayor's mansion or a councillor's mansion that, or maybe not even just a mansion, but like a lot more modern house, because maybe that's something people want to see. So I think I'm going to give that a go. I wonder if, I'm sure I noted it down some. Look. Oh, Minecraft video ideas. Yes, there's that, and then I've also put about flats, but I'm not going to talk about that for now because that'll all make sense later, I think. Or I could. I mean, I've just gone past it there. If I rewind a tiny bit. So, if I pause here, if you see just to the right of house number 1, there's obviously a house on the corner, isn't there? And I just think that building doesn't look right and it needs changing. So I think I will do that at some point. I've already recorded episode 11, episode 12, so it might be episode 13, but I've not quite decided yet. I think what I might keep doing, I don't know, do I pause it or not pause it? I might pause it. I'm going to have to get up every so often because it's late at night and I've not got the natural lighting. I'm not sat on my bed like I normally am. I'm sat on the floor instead, and my legs are going absolutely dead again, like they did in that episode. Was it episode 2? I can't remember. So every so often I might just have to like pause and get up. My legs are killing already. How long does it say we've got left? I mean, we're like halfway through. It says I've been recording for like 12 minutes, so I guess we're going to go for about 25 minutes on this episode, but we'll see. Right, so I've done house 1, 2, 3, and 4-ish. I mean, I know they're not finished, but I do go back and finish them, particularly in episode 11. So if that's what you're looking for, go see that. You can see here I'm just adding a path in as to where the other houses are going to go. I really like a lot of the trees around there, and I just don't want to take them down. So what I'm going to do for you guys, the video will jump, but I'm going to pause and get up and stretch my legs, and then you can see what I'm doing on the next house. So let me just pause the gameplay. Pause the recording, and I'll be back in a second. My legs are killing. I'm going to walk. Right, I'm back. It's about an hour later. Do I look any more tired? I mean, I shouldn't do, because obviously I had my nap. If you know I've had my nap, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to keep it going. Oh, I'm in a bit of a grumpy. I mean, it's nothing serious, but it's been about an hour. I've been on the phone to my partner for like 50 minutes, and I can't even really tell you what we spoke about, and that's what annoys me about our conversation sometimes. I mean, it's really nice that he wants to talk, but might just have a breather. Like, I know he spoke about work loads, fine. I mean, I'd probably do the same. Spoke about his family a bit, but yeah. Yeah, I just need to be grateful that he wants to talk to me, I guess, but anyway. Back into the episode. Now, obviously, because it's been like an hour, I can't remember exactly what I've said, so please forgive me if I repeat myself. This is house number 5, isn't it? So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be number 5. Now, as you can see, house number 5 looks like it's going to be a lot bigger. And I think it is fairly sizable, but I seem to remember, again, in the next episode when I'm decorating it, it wasn't like super spacious. Oh, and I just want to say the good news off the back of that long phone call that I had. I thought, well, I'm not just sitting here doing nothing while we're talking. So I did go and play some Minecraft. I've got another idea for my next video, which is really good. I don't know if I've said, but I'm thinking maybe every 5 episodes, so any episode that's a multiple of 5, 5, 10, 15, etc. Because obviously I've tried doing episode 10 houses, and that was a bit intense. I was thinking, like, should I do episode 20 houses, episode 30 houses, but I don't know. So I think every 5 episodes I'll try and build 5 houses. I think that's reasonable to aim for. But if you think I should do anything else, please let me know. And if I get distracted on another project, like if I'm building like a leisure centre, I can do that instead, maybe. Or do I save it for the episode after? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, you can see here now I'm extending the path again. So I must admit, I don't know if I've already said in this video, but I sort of just do the outline of what the houses are and where they're going to go. And then I actually finish them off camera, I think. yeah, because they're not very exciting. I finished them off camera, so you'll see them in the next episode, like complete building wise, and then yeah, just start decorating them because I think as long as you can see like where the ideas came from. Now I want to say like as I was recording this, it was obviously done completely spontaneously. So you can see me like pausing and thinking, oh, what should I do next? Where should I put this? There was literally no plan for it, which I don't know if it was a good idea or a bad idea, but I am really happy with how they turned out. They're just a lot more spread out than I thought they would be, but the area might change over time. Obviously, it's quite near the like village centre, if you like, so maybe they'll get demolished and turned into something else. The house I'm building now is going to be the super tiny one. I do end up, extending it in the next episode. Spoiler alert. So, but it does end up being quite a nice, cute little house, like for one person. Yeah, I'm gonna fast forward because this is boring me. If it's boring me, it's got to be boring you. Right, so it looks like I'm now going over to the other side of the path or the road. I'll call it path because obviously we haven't got cars. I'm assuming that most villagers are going to travel on foot, and obviously we've got the oh no, look away. We've got the mine cart and train, if you like. I've just realised that menu's been up a long time. I hope that's not bothered anyone. Maybe I need to make sure that's not up in future, so sorry if that was annoying you. Annoying. As if this has only been like a 60-minute recording, it feels like so much longer, but honestly I've had like an hour in between. Right, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. This house that I'm doing now I end up really liking. So let me show you, there we go. So it's got like, I've done a little window for the living room, and then this is going to be like the doorway, and as you can see from what I've put to the left, it's going to have like a little porch on it, which I think I put on there, but I don't finish off until I'm off camera. But what a nice little front of a house. And to be fair, again, spoiler alert, after this one I think there are 3 more houses. That must be house number 7. I think there's 3 more houses, and the other 3 houses I really like their character as well, and the way they turn out I think they look really nice. So I like the way that one looks that I've just done, and the other 3 are quite nice too, in my opinion. That's completely my opinion. I really like that I've made each of these houses different. I was thinking downstairs while I was recording a bit, well not recording, but playing a bit more, that if I am doing this 5 houses every 5 episodes sort of thing, that, oh, what was I going to say? That maybe I'm not always going to be able to stick to the houses being different. I know in this episode I've done it, and it does make it more interesting. And it was really hard for me to try and think, how can I make a house different? So yeah, eventually, surely, I'm going to run out of options. I hope this doesn't annoy you that I've moved the path just to the right. I didn't want to knock that tree down, so I've sort of incorporated a bit of a windy path. So yeah, I would just wait to say like, every 5 episodes, if I'm going to do 5 houses every 5 episodes, is the aim. I think that's a good aim to stick to. Please feel free to give me your opinions. Excuse me. Then maybe like if I'm doing a row of terraced houses just to make 5 houses, then yeah, they're probably all going to be the same. I don't think I can always make them all different unless anyone wants me to. And again, please let me know because otherwise I'm just doing what I want to do. So I'm starting work on, I'm assuming this is house number 9 now. I think this is house number 9. Now it does end up being really, really small. This house, I have not done it yet, but I think it is going to need an extension point on it. The bit that I'm building now is kind of like the living room area, and it's got lots of windows that look out in all directions. I was sort of thinking it's a bit like a conservatory really, but it's not because it's brick. It's not like fully windows and stuff. I could make it a conservatory if you want me to, but it does end up having like the bedroom above it, so it'd be weird if that bit was open and it had a room above it, because conservatories don't normally have rooms above them, do they? But yeah, because I think I set the door back a little bit just to give it some character, like I did on the last house. My legs are getting comfy already. Because I set it back a bit, it means that it is really small. And I thought, I wonder if I'll be able to fit a kitchen there. And when I put the stairs in, there's no room for a kitchen at all. So that house definitely needs an extension on it. But the good news is there is a bit of land behind it on the hill that I can sort of expand onto. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Hopefully keep the episode nice and short. So you can, I don't know if you just saw there, but I did put a little window next to the door. So yeah, you get a bit of a picture now of how the houses are like sprawling out across the landscape. I think it ends up being really nice. Obviously that is entirely my opinion. I really hope that by making each house a little bit different, it's just kept the episode a little bit more interesting. And maybe, like, if you're a Minecraft player yourself, it might have given you an inspiration for a house. Like, I'd love to watch this kind of thing and get inspiration for how I'm going to build houses. It's exactly the same as I've said before. Like when I go to cities and see really nice houses or really nice shops or whatever, it really inspires me to then. I'm like, oh, I'm going to build something like that in Minecraft. Or yeah, so hopefully it's encouraging or inspiring other people to like do things with their builds, or you might just watching it for the entertainment factor. So there's only one house left that I need to sort of outline, and I must say I only sort of outline what the houses are going to be and where they are, and then I do finish them off camera because I was aware I'd been recording. I think the whole recording, yeah, is about 40 minutes long. Now I've got a max recording time, and I know I could do them as two separate videos maybe. I've got a max recording time of 1 hour, so I know I was getting near that hour, and I was like, right, I just need to outline what houses I'm going to have and where they're going to be. Oh yeah, I've not even put that one in, have I? So there's two houses I've got to finish. There's this one that I'm doing now, and then there's one that's going to appear at the end of the path as well. This house that I'm doing ends up having so much character. It's like a weird little. I want to imagine it's sort of like a 2 up, 2 down, where you access it around the side. Now I feel like I've definitely seen houses like it in my lifetime, but I can't think of where they are. I know there was one actually for sale in Humberston, which is like sort of near Cleethorpes, if you're not familiar with the area. It's quite a nice area, Humberston. And I used to be really bad for like looking at houses for sale online, but I've sort of tried to stop myself doing it because I always think, oh, I really want it, and I just kind of depress myself because, yeah, I really want like these houses or whatever, but realise that I can't afford them, and then I just get all in like, oh, for God's sake. So I need to just keep living my life and be as happy as I can with my life, and not worry about getting a nice new house till I've got the money for it. I guess if I ever get the money for it, which I should do, especially if I'm doing the job I am doing. But gosh, I do quite often think like, I don't know if I want to be doing my job longer than I have to, because yeah, it's intense. It's very intense. But there are certainly advantages. Like I get a lot of holidays, and it pays quite well. So and it can be so rewarding. I love that I'm having all of these like connections with the students, and I feel like I am making a difference to their lives. And so there's so many students that just walk past my room and are so happy to see me, kids that I don't even know, and that makes me happy. The fact that they see me as like a positive person. And I used to get kids that I've not talked for at all, like coming to disclose things to me because I assume they feel like they can talk to me and they feel like I'm a safe person, which is just incredible. Like that is the sort of person you want to be. The flip side of that is it made a lot of work for me, but being so friendly, it just meant that I had to like report all sorts of things and stuff. But it's really nice that students feel like they can trust me, I guess, and feel like I'm a nice person to talk to. But yeah, so many kids that I don't even know give me smiles on the corridors, and you can tell it's because they just like me as a teacher. Like yeah, I don't know. There's things about that make the job so enjoyable, and there are so many other enjoyable factors to it as well. But yeah, gosh, I mean, if I could do this for a living, oh, that'd be amazing. I'd love it. But I'm completely dreaming. But I don't know. You've got to have a dream for it to come true. What's that song by Dizzy Rascal? Is it Happy Talk? It says something like you've got to have a dream to make a dream come true. Anyway, so in the episode, it looks like I've sort of paused now. I've outlined sort of what all the houses are going to be now. I know you maybe can't picture like how they're going to be. In the next episode, they will be finished and built off. I think I've combined the two there. They'll be built and finished off structurally, so they'll like all have roofs on and stuff. I did that off camera because I thought that's not very exciting to watch. But I hope you've seen sort of how I've randomly had the inspiration for building these houses in. I think 10 episodes in episode 10 was an interesting video to do. If you have enjoyed it at all, please give it a thumbs up so I know you've enjoyed it. And I'm hoping I'll see anyone that's watched this one in episode 11. If you've watched till the end, I really appreciate it. But yeah, episode 11, you'll see the houses complete with roofs on, and then the whole idea of episode 11 is going to be decorating these houses. So I put beds in, I put kitchens in, things like that. And I don't finish it off, but I think for some people, especially if you like interior design and things like that, I know you're very limited in Minecraft, so please bear that in mind. But you might just like to see how I've arranged things, like where I put the kitchen, how I set out the bedrooms, things like that. So if that doesn't all interest you, please tune in for episode 11. But thank you so much for watching this episode. Again, if you enjoyed it, remember to thumbs up so I know that people like it. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to keep guessing what people want to see, or just making whatever I want to make. But yeah, thank you for following me on this journey. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am, and even if you're not, I've enjoyed it, as I've said. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in episode 11, hopefully. If not, have a great weekend. Take care.